to Boxing View, brought to you by HBO and HBO Sports. If you know the name of the fighter that you'd like to see, press or say 1 now. You have selected Whitaker, rated R. For a preview of this movie, press or say 2 now. In a controversial decision, Whitaker lost his last outing when he went up against the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya. It was a grit-filled matchup, packed with suspense, betrayal, and drama. No! Heavyweight champion of the world, Oscar De La Hoya! Evil forces think Whitaker may be on the return, but at 33, the sun is not yet set on the 6-time world champion. Whitaker is out to prove he's still the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Don't miss this action-packed thriller when Whitaker takes on Andrey Pestryayev. For Showtime's press 3 now. This bout is scheduled for 9:15. Also showing on tonight's double feature is Mike Corte. For a preview of this bout, press or say 4 now. If the Peacemaker's not for you, check out the Bazooka Mike Corte. Out of Africa, this undefeated welterweight champion from Ghana brings you what might be his best performance ever. His starring role against Jose Luis Lopez. Lopez, a devastating power puncher, has left former champions dazed and confused. Corte versus Lopez is rated X. Playtimes for this bout are 10 o'clock. For previews of future bouts, press or say 5. For more information, press or Resort Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut. HBO Sports presents a doubleheader edition of World Championship Boxing. Our evening begins with 6-time world champion Pernell Whitaker taking on Andrey Pestryayev, followed by our main event title fight, welterweight champion Ike Corte defending his crown against Mexican challenger Jose Luis Lopez. Both bouts are scheduled for 12 rounds, and you get a good exterior look at the giant Foxwoods Casino here in rural Connecticut, where we've been treated to the fabulous spectacle of changing colors in the fall leaves all this week. Now the crowd moves inside for this boxing doubleheader, which could provide a big measure of excitement to the casino tonight. And hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Lampley. We welcome you to this edition of HBO's World Championship Boxing, which features 2 significant pieces of welterweight business. In the first fight, Pernell Whitaker seeking to regain the status he lost in his title loss to Oscar De La Hoya several months ago. In the second fight, Ike Corte of Ghana and his continuing quest for status and money to go with his extraordinary talent. Here to work with us, the man designated this month by one major boxing publication as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter of all time in boxing. Maybe a little soon for you to be wearing that particular laurel. Roy Jones Jr. But Roy, as we get ready to watch another man who would like to take that title from you somewhere down the road, Ike Corte. Corte continues to struggle to gain the notoriety and the public demand for his services that might get him big fights against the better-known welterweights like Oscar De La Hoya, like Felix Trinidad. What must Ike Corte do to get into the ring with one of those 2 guys?
Well, first of all, most of it is political. You know, when certain guys have certain guys, they don't want to take a chance of losing their guy or getting him beat before something big can happen. Ike Corte is the guy suitable to beat all of the big welterweights out there now. He doesn't have the name or the reputation that they have, but he can fight, and they don't want none of him.
And if he beats Jose Luis Lopez tonight, is that a significant enough step forward to move him closer to one of those big fights?
It is significant enough, but I don't think they still would accept a challenge from Ike Quartey. It's just sometimes guys do not want to fight the best guy. They don't want to prove who's the best in that division. We already know who's pound for pound the best, but they don't want to prove who's the best in their division. I know Ike is willing, and I'm sure some of those other champions inside know that the right thing to do is go ahead and step forward and prove who's the best welterweight pound for pound today.
Well, maybe the first big-name welterweight who'll get into the ring with Quartey is Pernell Whitaker. That could happen as soon as next year. And as we look toward this first bout of the evening, working with us as always, HBO boxing analyst Larry Merchant. Larry, we talked about Quartey's quest for status and money. Whitaker's quest right now would be to get a rematch with Oscar De La Hoya. What must he do to fulfill that desire?
Well, first it would be a pretty good idea for him to win tonight. And next, it would even be a better idea, probably, to look good while doing it, to convince everyone that a rematch doesn't mean a rerun, because even those who thought that Whitaker made a much closer fight or even won the first fight with De La Hoya aren't eager to see a rematch of what was a tactical showdown. But if the rematch doesn't happen, then what happens tonight could be even more significant, because then we might get a more appealing attraction, in my judgment, of Whitaker versus the man who is everybody's nightmare in the division, Quartey, providing that he wins. We know this much about Pernell Whitaker, Jim. He's ducked a lot of punches in his day. He's never ducked a tough opponent.
And conventional wisdom is that he doesn't have a particularly tough opponent tonight, although Pestryayev does have a good record. But a lot of people expect Pernell to win if his mind is here on his business in the ring tonight, instead of still on what happened in Las Vegas against De La Hoya 6 months ago. Pernell Whitaker and Oscar De La Hoya met in the ring April 12 for the World Welterweight Championship. On that night, in a less than convincing performance, the Golden Boy took Sweetme's title belt. A belt many experts felt should never have changed hands.
You know, and everybody else knows he won the fight, and that's what counts. All I did was see him running backwards. All I did was knock him down, attack him, and expose him. That's all I did. I was at my best.
But Pernell's best was not good enough, at least not in the opinion of the 3 judges who scored it. And Whitaker ended the fight backing up and clowning, which may or may not serve him well.
What's a clown? A clown is a person who wears makeup and do little tricks for kids. You know, I don't do tricks for kids. I try to hit and not be hit. That's the object of the game.
While Whitaker is in denial about having done anything to hurt his chances, Lou Duva, his longtime trainer, is a bit more objective.
After the fight, I went up to his suite upstairs, and I didn't pull no punches. And as I speak, I thought you won the fight close, but I thought you could have made the fight much easier if you would have thrown more punches. And he said, you know what? He said, you know what? I think you're right.
Now Pernell wants to avenge his loss to De La Hoya the same way he did with Jose Luis Ramirez in 1989. It's a chance he never had with Julio Cesar Chavez after their controversial draw in 1993, a fight Whitaker clearly won going away. Pernell Whitaker is all too familiar with frustration.
I want to fight the kid again, but the kid doesn't want to fight me. And one thing you can't do, I can't make him fight me.
Whitaker now plays a waiting game, hoping De La Hoya will give him the rematch. Tonight's fight is his first trip into the ring since he lost his title. So could Whitaker be caught looking past Pestryayev?
You know, it's my first fight since that tragedy. I'm looking forward to this because I know that the world is waiting for me just to see me and see what I do, because I'm coming out. You don't know what can happen in cases like this. I mean, you don't know what Pernell will turn up, which Pernell will turn up. Whether he'll turn up the one where he was 3-time champion, when he was in trouble with the Federal Rivera. You don't know. You don't know.
Whitaker will turn 34 in January. And whether he does get his desired rematch or not, 1998 could very well be his last year as a fighter.
the man upstairs is telling me it's payday time. Enough is enough. And I'm going on his way. Fighters never retire satisfied. They never retire satisfied. They always think there's always one more fight, one more thing to do out there. And all good things must come to an end. Even though we don't want them to, it must come to an end. You just have to accept it, and be happy with it.
When he does retire, Whitaker will walk away as one of boxing's most proven modern champions. An Olympic gold medalist who won professional titles in 4 weight classes and who for at least 5 years claimed the mythical title of best fighter pound for pound.
I've done everything, There is nothing else out there I can prove, This sport has been good for Pernell Whitaker, and Pernell Whitaker has been good for the sport.
Even if he never gets the chance to erase the haunting memory of his loss to Oscar De La Hoya, Pernell Whitaker's place in boxing history is secure. For now, he will continue to function in the only job he's ever had. But he knows that soon, maybe very soon, he'll lace up the gloves for the last time. And if you search the horizon for his inheritor as a stylist, you're still searching. Back live at ringside in the Foxwoods Casino in Ledyard, Connecticut, and you see the tail of the tape. 7-year age advantage for Pestryayev and a 6-inch height advantage for the very rangy welterweight. They agreed to fight over the limit at 148, give or take a pound, and Whitaker took that as far as he can take it as he enters having weighed in at 149, a 4-inch reach advantage for Pestryayev as they go into the ring. Punch that numbers, Larry.
Here's a look at the activity of the fighters, and you can see that Pestryayev is a very, very busy, aggressive fighter. Doesn't land a high percentage, comes forward, but these numbers we have to remember are against club fighting type opposition. And here are the numbers of punches they've been hit by, and those club fighters have hit Pestryayev more than half of the punches they've thrown at him, so something is going to happen in this fight, and it might not be good for Pestryayev given the caliber of opposition he has faced.
Next Saturday night, Harold Lederman will be inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame tonight. He scores the fights unofficially at ringside for us. Rules, Harold.
Well, thank you, Jim. I'm starting to feel the tension. The Pernell Whitaker Andrey Pestryayev fight is scheduled for 12 rounds, non-titled. There is no standing gate count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
All right. Here comes some of the shortest fighter entries into the ring in the history of modern boxing, or at least of our telecast. This is a tiny bandbox-style theater with about 1,700 seats, and the distance from dressing rooms to the ring is, as you can see, about 15 seconds. Pestryayev, born in the Ural Mountains, raised in the Soviet amateur boxing system, has lived in Brighton Beach here in New York City, over in Brooklyn, but recently living in Paris. And there's the record: 20 wins, 1 loss, 15 KOs. He's won his last 6 fights against extremely questionable opposition. But he's ranked number 1 by one of the governing bodies, which now ranks Whitaker number 2. So this is seen as a title elimination bout, and to produce a mandatory contender for Quarte's title, and that's why this bout is now scheduled for 12 rounds.
One of those extremely questionable governing bodies.
Questionable ranking, questionable governing body. Lively welcome for Sweet Pea. Pernell Whitaker, 40 wins, losses to De La Hoya and Jose Luis Ramirez. The draw with Chavez, only 17 KOs, 6 times he's won world championship belts. This is his first non-title fight in 5 years. And let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Foxwoods Casino Resort here in the Green Hills of Eastern Connecticut. Tonight, main events monitor and your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. In association with AB Stars Promotions present a double rumble in the welterweight division, and this card is dedicated to the memory of Art Cavalier. These bouts are sanctioned by the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation Gaming and Athletic Commission. The three judges assigned to ringside for the first bout, scoring it on a 10-point must system will be Glenn Feldman, Tommy Kazmarek, and Don O'Neill. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Jim Santa. And now, for the first of 2 times this evening, from Foxwoods Casino Resort of Connecticut, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for a WBA official championship elimination bout in the welterweight division. Sanctioned by the World Boxing Association, WBA Supervisor ringside, James J. Binns. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing red and weighs in at 148 1/4 pounds. He comes to the ring with an excellent professional record of 20 victories. 15 victories by knockout with only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, from Shteletinik, Russia, introducing the WBA #1 ranked welterweight in the world, Andrey Pestryayev.
He's yours tonight.
And across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing emerald green, his weight is 149 pounds even. In 1984, he captured Olympic gold. And now, as a professional, he has 40 victories. 17 of those by knockout with 2 losses and 1 draw. And he has captured 4 world championships in 4 different weight divisions. He's always been considered by many as pound for pound one of boxing's best. Ladies and gentlemen, from Norfolk, Virginia, presenting the 4-time champion of the world, Pernell Whitaker.
You ready? Pound for pound, pound for pound. You got it. Let's go. Let's go. Good evening, gentlemen. We went over all the rules in the dressing rooms. Let's touch gloves and have a good fight.
Well, we're about to see Pernell Whitaker, a certain Hall of Famer, probably for one of the few more times he'll be in the ring.
You ready?
Most decorated fighter of his generation, starting with the Olympic gold medal and all of the amateur accomplishments that preceded it, and proceeding on to his string of world championships. But we've seen him look very troubled a couple times in the past few years. In his first fight against Wilfredo Rivera, he was obviously undertrained, sick, he tells us, that week in San Martin, fought poorly against Cuban Diabales Hurtado early in 1996. He was horrendous, late in 1996. Ultimately scored a late knockout of Hurtado to salvage what could have been a disastrous loss. So you never know which Whitaker's going to show up at this stage of his career.
I think the comeback against Diabales Hurtado was one of the best fights of his career, probably because of the fact that he had come from so far behind.
He was knocked down in the first round by Hurtado. Trailed on the scorecards when he knocked Hurtado out in the 11th round. Pestryayev likes to throw a lot of punches. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to get off more than 70 or 75 punches per round, which is his average, against Pernell Whitaker.
Box though. That's it. Box it out. Box it out. Come on, box. That's it. Good.
He may be able to get him off, but I don't think he will land many of them, especially to the head.
Well, even at his best against the weak opponents he's been fighting, Pestryayev lands about 30% of his punches. So if he were able to land that many against Whitaker, he'd be doing extremely well.
Come on, hold it. Stop. That's it. Good job. Watch your legs, guys. Box it out. Box it out. Come on. Hey, no punches. No punches. Step back. Let's go. Come on. fellas. No holding. Come on, sweetie. Let go. Box it out. Box it out. That's it.
Sort of an awkward first round as Whitaker tries to find openings against the gangly Pestryayev, and Pestryayev resorts to holding Whitaker frequently when he comes close.
Whitaker's throwing some good body shots this first round.
Left hand lands for Whitaker. Pestryayev trying to get his jab working, but he throws it very tentatively. Now tries a right hand across the top. Might do well to dispense with the jab against the southpaw style of Whitaker. And when we go to Pestrayev's corner between rounds, if they choose to speak Russian there, our interpreter is Alex Giroux.
So next time you come here. You must be smart. If you are smart, know the... Just but we will keep you with. About to keep the head moving, stay low. Don't get up now with this guy. Beautiful round, baby. Yeah, you're boxing beautiful out there. Stay low, that's all. Keep the jab going because he can't set without when you jabbing, okay? Just keep like that. Left hand, this guy's starting to come out good. Work the way you're working, baby. Don't change nothing. Let's go, come on. What I'm hoping to see, Roy, is Whitaker not only making his opponent miss, but punching off those misses.
Countering some. I'm sure once he gets settled in, he will counter some. A lot of times when you don't know a guy, or when you haven't seen him much, you have to first see what you're dealing with. See how hard he's punching, see what's his best punch, so you don't run into it while you're trying to counter.
You saw how tentative Pestryayev looked in the first round. By CompuBox punch count, he threw 25 jabs and landed none of them. Whitaker trying to get the left hand to the body. Pestryayev has made a conscious effort to come out and be more aggressive here in round two, but now he begins reacting to what Whitaker's doing as he did in the first round.
Whitaker's jab seems to be working pretty good tonight.
I think he'll be able to use feints to get Pestryayev out of position pretty easily, Roy.
And he's keeping his jab on top of Pestrayev's jab.
Even the feature suggesting that he wished Whitaker had thrown more left hands against De La Hoya. One of the things his corner will be watching for tonight, not just the left hand, but the right hook. Power punch off the front foot that he's been working on in the gym with Ronnie Shields.
Well, Lou claims that Pernell is amphibian, meaning ambidextrous, and that his right hand is as good as his left.
Oh, good shot.
Hard left hand shot by Whitaker.
I think Whitaker is really hurting Pestrayev's body.
Well, there's a lot of it to hurt.
That was that right hook he's working on.
Come on, I say no punch this way, right? Bring out, all right?
Pernell Whitaker won his gold medal in 1984. The Russians didn't show up at Los Angeles for that Olympics, but nobody could have ever imagined that he would one day be fighting a Russian in a professional prize fight.
Effective combo along the ropes by Whitaker there. You can see that Whitaker's body punches are occasionally backing Pestryayev up.
Oh, that was that hook that he's working on.
There you go. There's that quick right hook inside. And it landed for Whitaker on the chin. Now he misses wildly with the left. And laughs about it. Still to come in the second half of our doubleheader, Ghanaian superstar Ike Quartey comes from Africa, continuing to seek status, glory, money, money in the United States. Tonight's opponent, Jose Luis Lopez of Mexico, one of the toughest names on Fuerte's dossier so far.
Keep moving here a little bit, keep going behind your jab, get close. The left hand, he's dealing with that left hand all day long. Right? I'll give him a deep breath.
That right hook's coming in beautiful. And then higher and higher, you're going to hit him on the chin. So no later. You can go. You do boxing. That phone one, dude. All right? Yeah. You do like that. Don't drop. Don't go too far. Close.
Pernell Whitaker is known for playing little ball, but sometimes he loads up and plays big ball.
By CompuBox statistics, in the first 2 rounds, Pestryayev has landed only 12% of his punches, 11 out of 89. Through 45 in the first round, landed 5. Through 44 in the second round, landed 6. So he's not finding Whitaker, and that's nothing new. The overwhelming majority of Whitaker's opponents have faced exactly the same problem. Now a little counter left inside lands for Pestryayev, and Whitaker goes back to work on Pestrayev's body. There's a left and a right and a left all together by Pestryayev. Whitaker suddenly seems to want to retaliate.
Whitaker having his championship mentality. He's not going to let this guy come in, tee off on him, and not call that.
Now, of course, we could say that it's easy enough for Whitaker to unload on a fighter of this caliber. He might have been a little bit less eager to throw those big punches against Oscar De La Hoya because of what might come back at him.
Pestryayev, 26 years old, will be 27 in December. Raised in the town of Sterletinik in the Ural Mountains in north-central Russia.
Now, that's a town right near the town where Kostazou came out of, the former junior welterweight champion.
Pestryayev fought for Russia at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, but he was not an amateur star like so many before him from his country. Hard left hand you saw by Whitaker. Pestryayev bounces back and lands a little left of his own. There's that right hook again.
You know, this makes me feel good about Whitaker, to see him go back and pick up some of the things that he used to do in his old days and bring them back out. That lets you know that a guy is still interested in being the best that he can possibly be.
Whitaker says that his gym work has been rejuvenated in the last couple of years by the presence in his training scene of the young fighters that Main Events and Lou Duva are bringing along, notably Zab Judah at 140 pounds, Arturo Gatti, 130-pound star, Fernando Vargas, 147-pound star in waiting.
Come on. 5 seconds. No punches, no punches.
Round 3 comes to an end.
Good. Yeah. Hey, that's good now. Pull that down. I want to be able to see it then, okay?
Спокойно дыши.
Now, you do good. Close, you jump, because when you are jumping, it touches you, okay? You are close, you move your body. 1, 2, 3, snap. 1, 2, 3, snap. You go good now.
Very good round, very good round. Forward straight.
Even there, but you close now. Don't try to talk from the outside. Let's go, seconds. Come on, let's go.
Well, about now you start wondering whether Pestryayev has a plan B.
Well, conventional wisdom in the sport is if If he produces a plan B, he'll be the first Eastern European fighter ever to have done so. Harold Letterman, your scorecard for the first 3 rounds.
Jim, so far I think this one's easy. 30-27, 3 rounds to nothing. Pernell Sweet P. Whitaker. Boy, in that first round, Pete outboxed him beautifully. In his second and third, he outfought him. And you know something, to follow up on what Larry said, Jim, if there was ever a southpaw with a better right hand than Pernell Whitaker, I never saw it. Just keep watching that right hand, because that's what the judges are seeing. That right hand is beautiful. Snap, great hook, good right hand.
Hard left hand by Pestryayev. Backs Whitaker up.
He landed 3 or 4 punches in that play.
And another hard left hand up top. So Pestryayev has begun to find an opening for his left hook.
I guess this is plan B, Jim.
I guess so. Given the fact that De La Hoya struggled so mightily to land even one left hook against Whitaker. But of course, De La Hoya spent the evening circling away from the opportunity to throw his best punch and later acknowledged that he had the wrong fight plan. Whitaker sticking the right in Pestrayev's face as the Russian moves in.
Hey, no punches, no punches, no punches. No punches, okay? Watch this, all right? Let's go. Come on.
It's almost as if Pestryayev was desperately nervous the first couple rounds, Roy, and now has begun to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, he had to have been nervous, Jim. He's never been in with a guy the caliber of a Pernell Whitaker. He's never had this big of an opposition in front of him. And I'm sure it was a shock to him. I'm sure there was a lot of pressure on him. Now he's finding that, hey, I can't stay in here, so let me see what I can do if I'm in here. I'm going to keep it up, may as well try to make the best of it. And that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Let's go. Come on, guys.
You know, a lot of the top professionals you talk to say the last guy in the world they want to fight is Pernell Whitaker. Pestryayev said he never even heard of him until 3 or 4 years ago.
Went through his entire amateur boxing career, according to him, without knowing anything about professional boxing or boxers in the United States. Now Whitaker roughing up Pestryayev along the ropes.
No punches. Let's go.
We'll learn a little bit about him tonight, though, that's for sure. He's in there with a crafty veteran.
That's it, box. Keep boxing. Keep boxing.
Whitaker landing a counter left inside as Pestryayev runs forward.
5 seconds, fellas. Come on, guys. 5 seconds. Keep them up. Let's go. Down. No punches. Good job.
You try to put up the pace on you. No. Don't abandon your jab, man. Right? Whatever you do, don't abandon your jab. Now stay with your jab like you do it. Please, okay. Tight. No. Don't abandon the jab. Start doubling up on your jab now, just a little bit. Alright? Look, start moving your head a little bit with this guy. When you throw combinations, you gotta get down. You can't get up high. So you got up in there high and hit with a couple shots. Okay? Now stay away from fighting with this guy. We're gonna keep boxing this guy. You're boxing him right up front. Alright, here's plan B for Pestryayev as he landed a nice flurry early in the round. Whitaker perhaps looking to land something big and walk into some punches.
Let's go, guys.
We can't quite get a look at the feet, but there was some notion that he might have been stepping on Whitaker's shoes during that play, or part of it.
Well, here's a good full-length view and a chance to see the foot interaction. Of course, when you're fighting against a southpaw, Roy, the conventional piece of advice from the trainers, keep your foot outside of his lead foot.
Yeah, because if you don't, then you're lined up to be right down the pipe of his punches. In other words, his hands are lined right between your hands.
Pestryayev seems quite content to put his foot right in front of Whitaker's. He doesn't seem to be making any conscious effort to stay outside of Whitaker's lead foot.
Because he's taller than Whitaker, he doesn't have to do that. The height advantage gives him room to react to whatever Whitaker does, because Whitaker has to travel a little farther than he normally would.
As Pestryayev has gotten a little bit braver through rounds 3 and 4 and into the 5th, he's become more effective. And you heard Whitaker's corner urging him to keep his head moving as they felt as though he'd allowed his head to get a little bit still and got careless, and that's why Pestryayev was landing punches.
Pestryayev is trying some different things now. He's gaining confidence, as you said, and that will make a fighter try different tactics.
Pestryayev and his trainer Luisa Carries were at odds on the question of whether he'd ever fought a southpaw as a professional. Carries said, oh yes, certainly he has. Pestryayev said, no, I don't think I have. If this is legitimately the first time he's ever fought a southpaw as a professional, he's not doing too badly in the technique area.
Not badly at all.
Hasn't been able to land those straight right hands that most fighters try to use as the heart of the arsenal against the southpaw. Now Whitaker looking for uppercuts against Pestryayev, and Whitaker was hoping that the uppercut would score heavily for him in this bout.
And I think he's been doing pretty good so far.
Got a tall opponent who crouches over to get at you. Perfect uppercut target, right?
Yeah, once you can get him to crouch over. First you have to pin him against the ropes to make him crouch over, then you throw the uppercut.
Whitaker landing the jab.
No punches, no punches, no punches. Watch the elbow. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Great punches in the corner.
Let's start a roll.
Solid blows on both sides.
And Pernell threw a very powerful right hook to him.
The right hook. An improving punch in the Whitaker arsenal. On Monday night, HBO Sports presents Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio. Through rare footage and interviews, this HBO Sports special explores the life of one of America's most envied and respected figures. Joe DiMaggio defined an American institution. Those magnificent Yankees, then he became one. Premieres this Monday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern and Pacific Time. Where Have You Gone, Joe DiMaggio.
He's boxing his face, boxing, and sometimes when you get close, you got to stay half step with the left hand, then bring the hook back. But you make sure you're close. Your hand hurt. You understand? And you stay, you move your body, and you keep combination. Combination.
I'm reminded watching those guys that it's easy enough for us to say the other guy doesn't look that good, he doesn't have a good record, he ought to win easy, Whitaker. The other part of it is he's got to go out and do it.
But the guy doesn't have a bad record, he's just not against noticeable opposition.
Right. Yeah, in fact, the next to last fighter he knocked out 2 fights ago had been knocked out 6 consecutive times coming into the fight. Which means that Pestryayev, with a record of 18-1, was fighting a guy who had been knocked out 6 consecutive times. That probably wouldn't happen with a contender here in the USA. Although, of course, it's boxing, so you never want to say never.
Never can say what will not happen.
Hard left hand to the chest by Whitaker. Hard left hand to the jaw by Whitaker, and Pestryayev momentarily stunned by that left.
Break, no punches. Let's go. No punches. Okay.
What Whitaker is doing is he's lining his right foot outside of Pestrayev's foot. That lets his left hand be right down the middle of Pestrayev's gloves. Then he can land that straight left hand with no problem.
Let go, Mr. Big. Punch him. Punch, that's it. Oh, no. That's a slip. That's a slip. Let go.
Pernell Whitaker said to the referee after that clinch, watch his head, watch his head. The referee said, Pernell, just strike.
Jim Santa, former Maryland Terrapin football player who now lives in New York, saying, I'll do the refereeing here, Pete. Straight right hand by Pestryayev, countering a right hand by Whitaker in close.
Look out. Pestryayev has a pretty good straight right knee.
Needs to get it off more frequently.
Come on, fight. Let's go. That's the uppercut that Whitaker said he wanted to work on.
And he waited until he got his man to the ropes, just as he said he would.
Watch the elbow, okay? Let's go. Fine. Both you guys, watch the heads, okay?
Перегнул боку до ковида. Поглубже сделай до ковида. Хорошо подыши.
He's having a little bit of trouble breathing. You got to try to start to breathe a little easier. Just watch yourself. Because, and also try to extend them out a little bit. Extend them out. I believe you can do it. Straighten out, straighten out.
Not too far. Not too far. Not jump. Stay. You move your body. I need combination. I need jab and combination.
Okay.
All right. Come on with the body control. Stay busy with the jab. Stay busy with the jab, all right? Stay busy with that jab.
Pestryayev seems to be breathing very heavily. They're trying to get him to relax.
Well, he has a lot of pressure on him here tonight, being the first time that he's in against this kind of opposition. Then Whitaker's also throwing some pretty good body punches.
It's scheduled for 12. We're halfway through. Harold Letterman, what do you have so far?
Okay, Jim. 59, 55, 5 rounds to 1. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. I did give the 5th round to Andrey Pestryayev. I thought Pernell just didn't punch enough for that round. But basically, Pernell's taking it to him. He's the effective aggressor, and he's out fighting him, making the better shots.
That's how hard it goes. Oh, no. Go home. Let's go. Come on, let's go. That's all right, let's go.
Whitaker may have been frustrated there because Pestryayev landed a hard counter right inside.
Yeah, but Whitaker's also counter with a hard left inside.
Pestryayev performing at the height of his capability, as is indicated by this. Whitaker through 6 rounds landing 34% of his punches. That's a normal connect rate for Pete.
Okay, don't do that.
But the last 2 opponents against Pestryayev landed half their blows, 50%. And those were lesser-known people, not the kind of fighters that Pernell Whitaker has been throughout his career. I think Pestryayev is rising to the occasion a little bit here. Certainly in the past few rounds, he's gotten much better at dealing with Whitaker's stuff.
Yeah, he's probably a lot more cautious because he knows what he's in against here.
So he's fighting more defensively.
Much more defensively and much carefully. And again,
punches
is offense, and he's throwing some pretty good defensive punches. When Whitaker comes, he throws 3 or 4 straight punches, and that is good right there. Those are good defensive punches.
Watch the elbows. 5 seconds. Nope.
That was a good counter left by Whitaker. He fell a little short with it.
Come on, fellas, come on, let's go. Let's box, fellas. Come on. Box it out. That's it.
Official timekeeper erroneously gave Jim Santa the signal that the clock was ticking down in the round. Santa told the fighters 5 more seconds in the round. It was actually 1 minute and 5, so now they continue fighting.
We can literally hear Pestryayev breathing from here at ringside.
Watch the legs. 5 seconds. Wait, step back. Let's go. 5 seconds, folks. Time.
And this time it is the end of the round. 7 rounds in the books. And Pestryayev Pestryayev starting to pick up a little fan support here.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it. And look, sometimes you're standing right in front of him a little bit too much sometimes. If you don't do that, then you got to jab with this guy, all right? You got to jab and just keep jabbing. And that, step around him, all right? Breathe in, baby. That's good. One more like that.
Children, you're afraid, huh? You're afraid?
Yes.
You're afraid? No. I'm not afraid.
No.
I'll go! Go, Smart!
The two fighters countering each other. Pestryayev starting it, Whitaker starting and finishing. Pestryayev getting in a nice right hand between Whitaker's punches.
Let's go, come on, let's go!
You might have seen Pestryayev laugh in the corner as he was trying to get on the same language track with the trainer. He said, "You're going to go after him?" No, yes, no. He couldn't quite get it laugh. He's a bright kid. He had 3 years in college, a good athlete. If he'd have been raised in America or some other country where there's a good superstructure of prize fighting, he might have turned out to be a real good fighter.
So what are you saying, Larry?
Well, he's got athletic ability, and you see he's got some want to. He takes the punch well. He just doesn't have the kind of skills he might have gotten if he'd have been brought up to be a fighter in a country with more fighters.
Right.
A professional fighter.
In his early teenage years, he was involved in both boxing and hockey. And of course, the two go together hand in glove, but he eventually chose boxing as his sport and has not played much hockey in the last several years.
He may have a little bit more skills in the series that he's showing tonight, but when you fight a guy like Pernell Whitaker, you can never show too much. He made one of the best fighters in the world look bad, which was Oscar De La Hoya.
Yep.
So you know he can make anybody look to be less skillful than they really are.
Sometimes including himself.
Just something about them southpaws.
Left hand lands over the top for Whitaker, but it's content-packed now for Pernell in the 8th round as he is reduced to trying to land one punch at a time against the awkward, dogged, gritty Andrey Pestryayev.
No punches, all right, let's go.
Pestryayev may in fact be tired, but he isn't going anywhere.
Well, he's with a fight.
Continues to dig in and try to land those straight right hands against Whitaker.
Let's box, fellas. Let's box. Let's box. That's it. Box it out. Box it out. Come on, Pernell. Let's go. Let's box.
Pernell going back to the body and driving Pestryayev up against the ring post with hard body shots.
And this is the best fight for Peter at this point because he's a shorter fighter, so he needs to be inside close to land his punches. Unless he's going to counter like that.
Vintage Whitaker. Go ahead and try to hit me. I'm right in front of you. Two-thirds of the way to a full 12-round rout, and there is the fighting surfer, Jose Luis Lopez of Durango, Mexico. He once dyed his hair blonde for a fight with Yuri Boy Campos, and despite the groovy impression he made with that, he knocked Campos out in a hurry, showed his extraordinary punching power in doing so. We could have some fireworks in this second bout.
Here we get an overhead look at what happens when a conventional fighter and a southpaw fight. You can see these are not good dance partners sometimes as they step on each other's feet. Well, nobody seems to be bothered by it, but it could lead to something bad for someone.
And sometimes it can make somebody stay still a little too long.
CompuBox numbers, Pernell Whitaker has landed twice as many punches as Andrey Pestryayev and thrown 100 more punches than has Pestryayev. But Pestryayev has raised his connect percentage from 10%, 11% the early rounds, up to 19%. He's done a little better in the middle stages of the fight.
The best thing for Pestryayev is to put punches together. Because he has the longer arm, he usually can reach Whitaker before Whitaker can reach him, just like that.
Good 1-2 by Whitaker. Pestryayev backs up as Pernell comes in with more hard left hands. Whitaker starting the 8th round or the 9th round very aggressively.
Whitaker's much too strong on the inside for Pestryayev. He's a shorter, more compact fighter.
That's it.
Inside is exactly where he wants to be.
Let's go. Let go, Andre. Let go. Let's go. Box those. Let go.
Left hand lands for Whitaker as they stood shoulder to shoulder and muscled for punching room. There haven't been too many occasions in his career when Pernell Whitaker could out-muscle a man at close range for punching room. And he can do it here. Tissue is starting to swell around Pestrayev's eyes as Whitaker continues to land the right hook, the jab, and an occasional left cross.
Technically, you're supposed to get under your opponent when you get inside. Whitaker, because he's 4 inches shorter, is already automatically under Pestryayev when they come together. So that's why he appears to be so much stronger. And then he really is probably physically stronger than Pestryayev because he's built lower to the floor, he's thicker, he's more of a short tank type guy in comparison to Pestryayev.
Guys, both you guys, come on, just box, all right? Let's go.
And at 33, he's had more time to season and settle into his strength. Some guys continue to get stronger as they get older, at least up to a point.
I don't know, I think George is still getting stronger.
Yes. Certainly George believes that.
Boxing. Box those, that's it. Let's go, fellas. Box those. Box those. Come on, those. Box those. 5 seconds.
That left hand by Whitaker, well after the bell. Luisa carries jumping into the ring to yell at Jim Santa. And Santa takes over.
Both guys. Kid now. We're going to 12 rounds, huh? How many rounds are we? Come on. The bell rings, no punches.
If you look at stuff, he said he's низко.
You're getting much too low.
You don't want win? You win! You win!
You're getting much too low. You're having a lot of problems. Hold up your arms.
Here we're watching what happened at the end of the round in slow motion. Now followed in real speed. One beat after the bell. Perhaps some frustration on Whitaker's part. We've seldom seen that in the past.
And an interesting moment as you heard Pernell asking his cornerman, how many rounds are we going? It is a 12-round bout, designated as such by the governing body that ranks Pestryayev number 1 and Whitaker number 2. Harold, how you got it through 10?
Jim, 88, 83.
I mean through 9.
88, 83, 7 rounds to 2. Pernell sweeping with a commanding 5-point lead. Jim, let me tell you something. Pernell Whitaker had an open glove, an open right hand, and when that bell rang, you knew darn well if he was going to measure him with that right hand, he was going to cut the left hand loose, and that's exactly what he did. He cracked him with it. But you know what the judges are seeing? They're seeing Andrey Pestryayev grab. You see, he lands 3 punches and he grabs. The judges watch that. That's one of the things they look for, and that's why they give the rounds to Whitaker. Pernell's winning this one big. Give him
body shot.
Watch the feet, watch the feet. Whitaker loading up left hands and firing them across the top. Able to land against Pestryayev. And there's a typical piece of Whitaker's sleight of hand as he gets away from the barrage of punches by Pestryayev. Skips back into position and comes back with the jab.
Break, no punches, let's go. That's a home, let's go.
Pestrayev's gotten caught up into the same thing that most Whitaker opponents get caught up in, which is trying to hit his head. He cannot hit Whitaker with many punches to the head. He's one of the best defensive fighters of all time. Why go out there and get yourself frustrated on the head?
So you should focus on the body.
And then work your way up to his head if you're ever going to try to land it.
No punches, let's go.
But it's far too slick to let guys like this hit him with flush, clean head shots. One or two every now and then maybe, but not many. That's why he's been around so long.
So come on, box.
And of course, Pestrayev's punches wind up looking tentative often because he starts the punch aiming at Whitaker's head. He realizes as the punch is halfway there that the target is gone.
Or it may not be there when the punch gets there.
No punches, come on. Let go, no punches. Let go, punch, come on, Andrey. No punches, step back. Ah, no punches.
Don't worry about that. Look, it's down definitely, baby. All right? It's down definitely, right now. You just keep boxing him. Using that good jab, don't let him get shot. All right? And keep stepping around the guy. Paint at him. Act like you're going to hit him with the left hand and walk away from this guy. Just keep walking around this guy. Just make him jump. Don't let him take the play away from you. You're all right. I know you're right. This guy ain't got nothing to do. Nothing at all. All right? This guy, all they're doing is trying to throw punches. Only thing he's going to dust to the foot right now. Just keep using the jab and stepping around this guy. Every now and then, paint at him, hit him with the left hand and come back with the hook. And then walk back around and go back to the jab.
Bout was originally scheduled for 10 rounds, then later changed to 12. So now Pernell Whitaker and Andrey Pestryayev go into the championship rounds. Punch stat numbers showing Whitaker landing still more than twice as many punches as Pestryayev.
What's the legs, guys?
I for one could do without these last 2 rounds.
Come on, Jay, box. Let's go. Let go for now. That's it. Good job.
But the WBA wanted you to have them, Larry.
I like to see Sweet Pea in action.
Let go for now. Boxing for now. Let go.
There for Roy.
Watch your heads. Let go. Come on. Well, I can't hit in the ring. Let's go. Come on.
What's going on, Roy?
The referee going crazy, I guess.
17, hang out of the ring. Hey, are you okay? Let's go. Hang out of the ring.
So a knockdown scored against Whitaker by Pestryayev.
Let's go. Boxing for him. Let's go.
It's the 9th time in Whitaker's career that he's been knocked down. He's no stranger to that experience. Obviously, he's going to say, wait a minute, what are you talking about? That was no knockdown. He got himself tangled in the ropes, went through to the other side of the rope. Santa told Pestryayev to keep fighting.
But he seemed to be playing it. What was he doing in that? On the rope.
Hard to figure.
Hey, let's go. You got to fight. Let's go.
And a now eager Pestryayev may believe that he has Whitaker in trouble as he launches heavy right hands coming forward. And Whitaker lands that counter right hook.
No punches, fellas. Come on, Pernell. Step back. Let's go.
In the background, I
see Terrell Gaddy, the junior lightweight champion, cheering for Whitaker, his stablemate. Trying to get him to
No punches.
be a little bit more offensive. Nobody has to tell Gaddy to be more offensive.
Gaddy coming off his spectacular fifth-round knockout of Gabriel Willis on the undercard of Luis Galata, a fight in which Willis performed brilliantly despite being knocked out. Gaddy was just that good that night.
I sense a certain frustration in Whitaker now. I think he wishes it were a 10-round fight too.
Well, it's tough on Pernell to have to fight a 6-foot-tall guy. 6 inches taller than he is.
The fun thing in the world right now is don't lose your cool with this guy. Don't lose your cool, okay? Don't let the referee boxes. Don't let the referee make you lose your cool, and then let this guy lose your cool. You box, baby, box. That's box good this round. Use that jab combination with this guy. This guy ain't got nothing left.
Number of punches landed, popping off to 11 at that round.
What did you saw?
You're on the jab. Don't let him jump with you.
7 minutos работы. 7 минут работы.
Let's see what was called a knockdown here. I don't know. Does that look like a knockdown to you? It's a technical knockdown because Pernell, for whatever reason, bent himself between the ropes and laid there for a few seconds.
Both guys. That's all right. Let's go.
So Pestryayev goes to the 12th round for only the second time in his career. Whitaker has lived in the 12th round. Been here literally dozens of times. Crowd gets into it a little bit as the 12th round begins.
Step back. Let's go. Let's box.
Whitaker grinning wildly at Roy Jones now at ringside. As though the whole thing is hysterical, but remember, he elected not to fight hard and showed off a little bit the 12th round against De La Hoya, and although technically it didn't cost him the fight because he had already lost it, the scores were that one-sided that night, it was a powerful argument for people who said afterward that they felt Oscar had wanted to fight more than Pernell. Whitaker electing to continue to throw punches tonight, even while attempting to show Pestryayev up a little bit by dancing away from him.
No punches. Come on, guys.
Pretending to be wobbly. Pernell's always wanted to have fun fighting.
Yeah, early in his career, he used some of his showboating tactics to bring attention to himself. It was a good marketing device. For a middle-aged man, I think it's a little passé. I don't see that it thrills anybody anymore.
No punches. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Larry, he's middle-aged at 33?
He's old at 33 in this game.
Mouthpiece of Pestryayev.
No punches, guys. Step back, Pernell. Let go. Watch your head. Let's go.
Mouthpiece is lying on the canvas behind Pestryayev. Santa picks it up.
Time.
Jim Santa, not Santa Claus.
Hurry up. Let's go. Hurry up. Let's go. Come on, Pernell. Time in. Let's go.
Uppercut lands for Whitaker as Pestryayev leans over and comes in.
Pestryayev is
throwing punches as though he's looking to outpoint Whitaker, and that's not the case. I think he's far too far behind to outpoint Whitaker at this point.
But what if a couple of the judges did have it close? If a couple of the judges had it close, and Pestryayev got a 2-point round in the 11th as the result of Santa having ruled a knockdown, well, I don't want to say stranger things have happened, but lots of strange things have happened. Let's look at a scorecard that probably isn't terribly strange. Harold?
Okay, Jim. 115, 112, 8 rounds to 4. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Jim, let me tell you something. It was a questionable call in the 11th round. I understand what Jim Santa did, but let's face reality. If a guy slips into the ropes, I mean, he couldn't let Andrey Pestryayev hit Whitaker while Whitaker was caught up in the ropes. He should have told Pestryayev to take a step back and let Whitaker get out of those ropes, not call it a knockdown. Because Whitaker didn't go in there from a clean effective punch. But be as it may, you were right. You got to give him 10-8 the 11th round. Pestryayev probably won the 12th round, so I gave Pestryayev 4 rounds. I still think Whitaker wins it by 3 points. There's no question Pernell should get this decision.
We'll see. Luis Icaris, Pestrayev's trainer, was trying to lift him up in the air in a victory lift, but Pestryayev would have none of it.
I thought the same thing that Harold said. I thought the referee should have stepped in when he got tamed in the rope. Make the guy back double step, because that's how accidents happen. If the referee doesn't say anything, that guy's job is to try to get Whitaker out, just like it's Whitaker's job to try to get him out. So they are only going to react to the command of the referee. The referee should have stepped in and said stop when he saw Whitaker first turn it up in the ropes, then everything would have been okay.
Well, let me play devil's advocate, and I'll offer you what I think was going through Santa's mind. I think he believed that Whitaker went into the ropes intentionally, and that he ruled a knockdown because Whitaker was intentionally putting himself between the ropes and wouldn't follow his order to get out.
No, not originally. Not originally. Hey, look, if you're hung up in the ropes and you got a 6-foot monster standing over you, ready to whack you with a right hand or drop a right hand down on you, you're going to stay there until the referee tells the guy step back, like Roy said. And that's what Pete did. He stayed in the ropes. Santa should have yelled step back, and that would have been the end of it.
And now Pestryayev is a monster, huh, Harold?
Well, he's 6 foot tall. I mean, Pete's a little guy.
All righty. Let's go to Michael Buffer and hear the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the Budweiser scorecards. Glenn Feldman scores the bout 115 to 103. Pardon me, make that 113. Pernell Whitaker. Don O'Neill scores the bout 114 to 113. Tommy Kazmar scores at 115 to 112. For the winner by unanimous decision, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
And that's the other Icaris brother, Luis Icaris' brother, Michel Icaris, who is so violently angry at the decision and is helping to create the ruckus in the center of the ring. Icaris seems to believe that the scores have been added incorrectly. Promoter Dino Duva, Whitaker's promoter, there helping to straighten out the scoring imbroglio if he can. Along with WBA observer Jimmy Benz, the man in the pinstripe suit there, who's often called Jimmy Pinstripes. Final punch stat numbers, and you'll see Whitaker's numerical dominance in these numbers. Sweet Pea smiling at the entire affair. Whitaker landed 117 more punches, threw 81 more punches, and nearly doubled the connect percentage of the dogged Pestryayev, who just wouldn't go away. And final jabs, and you'll see that Whitaker totally dominated that category as Pestryayev could land only 12% of the jabs he threw despite his big height and reach advantage. Let's go to Larry Merchant with Sweet Pea Whitaker.
All right, thank you, Jim. All right, Sweet Pea, a little bit of a ruckus behind you. I guess the Russian-French contingent thought that their man had won the fight. If that had happened again for the second time in a row, I don't know what would have happened, Larry. Tell us what happened when the referee gave you a knockdown because you went outside the ropes. What was the point there?
I think it turned into something like I was fighting against both of these guys. First of all, the referee was real rough on me. Plus, once I went out the ropes, he hit me again. And I thought once you're outside the ropes, you're not supposed to do it.
Well, but maybe that's true, but the referee said if you go outside the ropes, it's a knockdown.
I accepted it. And I accepted what I'm supposed to do. I accepted it and all.
Tell us, is this guy just too big, too awkward, a little bit tough?
Nothing to above. Oh, very tough opponent. All the opponents. Plus, he was the number one contender. As you know, I come in with no titles. So, and I still, after being robbed in April, I still came back to fight the best. And I won. And that's what counts. And I'm sure my HBO audience enjoyed it.
Would you tell us, Pernell, were you satisfied with your performance? And do you think that this is the kind of performance that will make Oscar De La Hoya want to fight you again?
If he's seen, I don't think if he didn't want to fight me, if he didn't fight me by now, he won't fight me. So I know that this performance probably scared him to death because I had a great time in there. I had fun. That's what the name of the game is. Whitaker is to have fun. I have fun against him. I'm gonna have fun against anyone who steps in the ring with Pernell Whitaker. And then I want to say hi to my boys, all my sons, my 4 sons back at home. Before I let that slip past me, I want to say hi to everybody in Virginia, all my family and everybody.
You told us yesterday that you thought that if you fought De La Hoya again, you would have to throw more combinations and you might even have to knock him out to win the fight, given what happened in the last fight.
I would knock him out the next time. I didn't say I had to. I said I would. I don't have to do anything to go in there and win the fight. But since if I get robbed when I'm the champion, regardless, I know I wouldn't get it being a challenge.
If you don't get the rematch, will you fight the winner of the next fight? Lopez or Corte?
I want all my fans and all the fans across the world to know I'm going to fight one time next year. I don't care who it is, but I'm going to fight one time next year. Like I said, and if this is a spectacular fight, I'll do it again. It depends on what happens. But I'm going to fight one time. I don't care if it's Corte. I don't care if it's De La Hoya. I don't care if it's Moses. It don't matter.
All right, thank you, Pernell. Jim, what Pernell is saying, he's going to fight one time next year, unless he wins. Back up to you.
All right, Pernell Whitaker's been talking for the past couple of weeks about his 4 boys ranging in age from 2 to 16 and how he wants to devote some time to fathering. He's missed a lot of it in the past and he thinks it ought to be a big part of his future. Maybe it will be because part of the problem for Pernell, Roy, is that's a pretty good Pernell Whitaker performance. That's certainly what he might have envisioned doing in there, short of being able to score a knockout. But it's not the kind of fight that's going to cause sports fans around the country to jump off their seats saying, yeah, I got to see him against De La Hoya again.
No, because boxing fans normally want to see knockouts. They think if you go in against a guy with the reputation that Pestryayev had, which is hasn't facing anybody that they really saw as formidable opposition, they think you're supposed to go out there and hit a grand slam. You're supposed to go out there and knock him out. Pernell has never been noted for that one knockout punch. It has happened a few times in his career, but it's something that he just never really possessed in his arsenal, a big knockout punch. So they get a little bit, underrated of his skills when they don't see him go out and make home run hits on guys that they think he should.
Yep. All right. Well, it remains to be seen what happens to Whitaker as he looks forward to what he says will be that one fight in '98. You believe that one?
About as much as I believe that Georgia fight one more time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. Larry, you have something to say about Whitaker and Pestryayev?
Well, what I have to say is that Jimmy Benz, the WBA representative here, says the final scoring is not official. He says he looked over the scorecards. You couldn't tell who has scored what round for whom, and they're going to have to examine the scorecards.
That's why Michelle Acaris was creating such a ruckus in there. So you're saying maybe Acaris has a point?
Well, it suggests that maybe somebody changed the score in a round. I don't know what it means, to tell you the truth. I've never come out of the ring not knowing who won. I've gone into a lot of rings not knowing who won. This is a new one on me. I don't think that Pernell, it was a Pernell victory, but I don't think he did himself a a whole lot of good. I don't think he convinced us, as I said before the fight, that a rematch with De La Hoya would be any different.
Well, I was just saying to Roy while you were coming up here, it's a tough quandary for Pernell because that's the kind of performance he would want to produce against an awkward opponent like Pestryayev, but it's not the kind of performance that causes sports fans to jump off their sofas and say, yeah, we got to see him against Oscar again. Tough call.
I would like to see what he can do against the winner of the next fight and what the winner of the next fight can do against him.
Well, let's talk about the next fight. Ike Quartey is unbeaten at 34-0.